Hello, all of you beautiful beings who join now live or in the future now moment, whenever you happen to watch this video. Appreciate you all. And I'm going to just dive right into conversation and keep this a bit brief and short, as I was guided to share about the upcoming Leaders Evolve Together program that's happening in November. And sending you all blessings as you come on in, say hello to each other, and connect with each other. And yeah, so I felt guided to share a little bit about the experience of the Leaders Evolve Together program, because I've been having some people ask, and I wanted to just jump in live and just give you a little bit of a download as to what happens in these groups, because they are unique in that you receive support every single day from me. So the Leaders Evolve Together program that's going to be happening in November is like what I'm calling, and I'm being guided to call this espresso shot of consciousness, right? Because it's going to be a little bit different from the first two groups in that it's going to be a shorter amount of time. So it's going to be a 22-day commitment to excellence, to impeccability, to practicing, to showing up for ourselves every single day, and to really burning, right? Really burning away all the illusions that are no longer serving our highest and best, and like anchoring fully in our bodies to be and embody anything that it is that we're calling in. So whenever I put out these Leaders Evolve Together programs, and this is the third one for this year, and I was actually not, it came to me as a surprise, to be completely honest. After the last Leaders Evolve Together program, I thought, oh, I'm not going to do another one this year. Because it requires a lot on my behalf. It requires me to show up every single day. It requires me to really open up my schedule in a massive way, and put a lot of energy out into the field, out into the group, and support people like pretty much 24/7 is kind of how it ends up, because people are joining from all over the world. You know, the last group we had people from England and Sweden and Australia and the US and Germany and various places in the US. So we had people all over. So I'm constantly getting messages and going deeper into the work with people. So it requires me to really expand my container. And I wasn't really sure if I was going to be doing that again this year. And then about a month ago now, or maybe 3 weeks, I received a meditation that I was supposed to do another Leaders Evolve Together program, though this one was going to be the evolution of the program, right? Something that I've learned through, adding evolution into anything that you're doing, right? That's the energy that you're putting into it. So in its very nature, the Leaders Evolve Together program is evolving, right? And it's going to always continue to be evolving. So it's evolving into this espresso shot of consciousness is what I'm calling it, right? That dose that we require, that commitment to ourselves that a lot of us are lacking in. It's the number one thing I hear from people is they don't practice enough. They don't show up for themselves every day. They don't commit to their goals. And if you've seen some of my live videos before, commitment bears the seeds of good fortune. And being in that field, when we're fully committed and we're optimistic and we're seeing the benevolence and the hope and the opportunity that's available to us, like miracles are just bound to happen. And I've seen it in dozens of people who have joined up for this program before. So how this one is going to be going is going to be, maybe you're aware of that said it takes 21 days to form a new habit in our subconscious program. It takes 21 days of continually showing up for ourselves in order for us to shift into a new energetic, physically, like at a physical level in our subconsciousness. So the subconscious learns through habit. It learns through repeated behaviors. It learns through, it's a programmable experience, and it gets programmed through habit, through showing up continually every single day for a 21-day span, is what they've kind of come to find is the key to creating lasting change in our subconscious. And since majority of what's happening, what's holding people back are these subconscious programs, the Leaders Evolve Together program really goes in and creates new programs, new beliefs, new experiences, new habits, new behaviors that then energetically shift your frequency and allow you to experience life at a new frequency. So this next program, in the past we've done 5 days of practice with a day off, and this time we're going to be doing 7 days straight, so 22 days straight of practice, where every day you'll be guided by me live through various different tools and techniques. This is a very non-dogmatic approach. There's not going to be one method. There are going to be things that you'll see across every day that said the practices are designed to build from the ground up, from your feet up to your crown, to really allow you to become more embodied, more anchored, more grounded, and then work through expanding higher frequencies through your upper energy centers, right? We'll dive into some auric vision. We'll work with our higher energy centers, not until we've worked and really grounded at our roots though. So the practice combines various methods of qigong, of breath work, of various different yoga lineages, various different teachings and meditation styles. Something that I am a huge advocate for is really, really, really becoming empowered in the mental field and really learning how to move beyond the limiting beliefs, move beyond the fear-based programs, and really gain sovereignty with the mind and strive towards mastery of the mind. I am not one that claims that you are going to become a master through this, because that's not what this is about. And anyone that's claiming you're going to experience mastery through something, there's a tinge of ego in that, and that ego is trying to get you to sign up through it, because the ego is like, oh, I'll become a master, and then I'll have dissolved beyond all of my problems, all of my limitations, and I'll be a master at something. That's not what this is, right? Because what's coming through this body is soul work, and I'm not going to use ego words to convince you to be a part of this. You either want to be a part of this or you don't, and it's perfect. It's all perfect. So the committed aspect of showing up every single day to your practice literally transforms everything in your world. You'll start to be able to burn through those limiting beliefs much more effectively, much more rapidly. You'll be absolutely blown away by what you're able to achieve in such a short amount of time. So we have the daily practice, and that is meeting with me every single day live. If you're not able to join the live time though, it is going to be recorded, and you get a recording. So you have these recordings forever, right? So you can tune back into this forever, into these practices. So you can redo them at any moment in time that you feel guided. And it's interesting because I actually have people from the last Leaders Evolve Together groups wanting to join the next one because of how impactful it was in their life to have someone showing up for them every single day and guiding them through their practice. So on top of that, at the end of every practice, you have question and answer time with me. And that question and answer time is for you to go deeper, right? For you to share what's coming up, for you to be supported and held, and stuff is going to come up in this time. Your fears are going to come up. Your belief systems that are limiting and blocking are going to come up, because not only are we practicing, you are receiving mentorship and guidance and support, facilitation from me as well throughout that whole period of time. And what that looks like is, this one's going to be a little bit different in that, since we're doing this espresso shot, right, it's going to be taking the workshops that we were doing, and we're going to be weaving it in actually and getting tools and practices to your email box that you're going to be encouraged to do, and you're going to be asked about them in the practices, about what's coming up, right? Setting goals for yourself, having a vision for your life, really anchoring into your divine abundant vibration, right? The abundant vibration that allows you to shift, right? Shift and weed out these limiting beliefs and programs that are no longer serving your highest and best, which ultimately that's what this is all about. This is about rewiring, reconstructing, getting a little conscious boost to start to experience life on a different vibration. So you'll have lots of tools and practices and little prompts to take you through this journey and really support you, and then meeting with me every single day to like tune in, right? Drop in. You are not going to find very many mentors that work with people every single day in this fashion. I actually know none, no other. So it's a commitment that I have been able to show up for twice now. This will be the third time, and I'm being guided that it's going to continue, because there's something that I have developed, and I've spent lifetimes in developing. It's a very strong will and commitment and a devotion to God, to consciousness, to spirit. And when people are in the vibrational field of what I bring forward, this like joyful optimism and knowing, because I'm truly devoted, they're able to tap into that and bring that into their lives. And every single person that's joined this program has had major shifts, and you can read about them on the lovesmission.com Evolve Together page. You can see the feedback that people are giving. That said, there also, just to kind of wrap up this piece of information about what really you'll be experiencing in this moment in time together, the daily practices, the daily support, the daily guidance, the workshops as well. So we'll have 2 workshops that we'll be doing in that 3-week span that will guide you deeper into learning various practices on the mental plane. It's more like a learning space, right? To open up and expand our wisdom, to tap into remembrance of our divine capacity to be a leader for our own experience, right? The leader aspect of this is not going out and leading millions of people, though it can very well be that. What I believe is that we're here to lead ourselves, right? We're here to be leaders for our own experience, our own life, to take risks, to take leaps of faith, to show up for ourselves in really magnificent ways. That's what a leader is. You're being a leader for your own life, and you're not being a follower for someone else's experience, right? Being told what to do and just going and following it. Because that's what creates constriction. That's what creates mental dysfunction on the mental plane, right? When we're doing something that we don't really want to be doing. And all of these thoughts come in and tell us all these things about not being worthy enough, not being lovable, about not being this, not being that, not being smart enough, not being brave enough, not being confident enough. All these things show up when we are following someone else's vision. So the Leaders Evolve Together program inspires you to be a leader for your own experience and to garner the confidence and the strength and the determination and the devotion and the commitment within your being to lead your experience forward in the direction of your dreams. That's ultimately what this whole experience is about. And if that dream is going out and leading other people, then that's amazing. You're going to learn incredible tools for actually learning how to embody that, right? What I'm seeing now is, now that we're about 5 to 6 years into the big shift in consciousness that's been happening on this planet, is that people have an awareness, right? They have an awareness of the truth. That said, the embodiment and the integration is what's lacking. We're not showing up and embodying our soul because we haven't really learned how to deprogram the mental field and to allow for the light of our soul to shine through. And that's really what the practice is about. That's really what you're going to be walking through in this journey. So, as a little side bonus, when you join the Leaders Evolve Together program, and this is new. So this is new for the programs moving forward because I'm being guided to do these espresso shots of consciousness, is that you'll be entered into a Facebook group that is going to be consistent for all of the Leaders Evolve Together moving forward, so that the next Leaders Evolve Together program, which will be likely in the spring of next year because my schedule is rather booked throughout the beginning of next year, and you will have access to all of the lives, all of the trainings that I'll be doing in the Leaders Evolve Together programs to come in that group. So essentially, a lot of the video content that I'm going to be doing is going to be shifting into that Leaders Evolve Together group. And you will then have access to that forevermore. So if you are really resonating with these videos, with the channel that has been opened up through this body to deliver love, wisdom, to deliver a soul remembrance and embodiment and commitment, right? As a big piece of what I'm here for is to really inspire a deeper devotion to your excellence and your impeccability through being an example of what that looks like. So if you are inspired by all of that and find growth and healing and guidance and mentorship with me is something that you've resonated with for a very long time, then joining this group is going to allow you to have access to that forevermore, and to a lot more deeper teachings that I'm going to be sharing in this group, in live videos and in various trainings and things of that. So you'll have access to that, you know, the forever of whatever is Facebook, right? So to say forever for something is really impossible, right? Because everything is constantly changing. So the forever for the moment and time, access, because Facebook tomorrow could decide it no longer wishes to be, right? We have no idea what's going to happen. All we can say is that for as long as it's available, you'll have access to that. As long as Facebook is still moving forward, you'll have access to that. As long as I'm still on this planet, you'll have access to that. So what I'm doing as a little gift and offering is for anyone who signs up for the Leaders Evolve Together program before October 10th, 1010, the 1010 gateway that's opening up. That's going to be a portal that takes us through the 1111 alignment, which the 1111 alignment is really, really huge. So just to talk a little bit about what's happening right now and why this timing is so important. We are wrapping up Saturn in Sagittarius. We are wrapping up the time of what we've been experiencing for the last 2.5, almost 3 years of Saturn being anchored in Sagittarius. And Saturn's going to shift out of Sagittarius in December. And when Saturn is in a sign, it takes that sign and it constricts that sign's energy and essence and pushes to the surface all of the truth within that sign. So Sagittarius is truth, is knowledge, is a sage, is deep, deep esoteric wisdom. And it also is single-pointed focus, right? It has an arrow, it has a target, it has a direction, it has an aim, and it's very committed to that. And I know a lot about Sagittarius because I have 5 signs in Sagittarius, including my sun. And so Saturn, right, the last 2 years has been this huge squeezing and wringing out of all the illusions, right? Disclosure coming to the surface. The truth about finances, right? Government, all of these things have been coming to the surface. Education, all of it. Consciousness, right? Really been squeezed and pushed to the surface. So we're preparing to shift from Saturn being in Sagittarius to Saturn being in Capricorn. And when Saturn's in Capricorn, all systems are going to be go, right? So the last few years has been this major truth within, going inward and bringing up to the surface, right? So when Sagittarius was in Scorpio, the 2.5 years before it was in Sagittarius, Scorpio is about going really deep within, right? So we went really, really deep within and like got clear with our gunk. And then the last couple years has been about remembering our truth, our soul embodied truth. So when Saturn moves into Capricorn, it's all systems go. Capricorn is creation, is building. And it's going to be about taking all of that truth that you know, whether it's in art, whether it's in dance, whether it's in money, whether it's in education, whether it's in healing or health or wholeness or education or anything, right? Anything that is your soul's truth. When Saturn moves into Capricorn, it's going to be a cosmic push that you start creating it, that you start building it, that you start bringing it together. So the gift that I bring forth is the destruction energy, the energy that clears out all that's blocking us from building, all that's blocking us from really being a clear channel to allow for that light to move through us with ease and grace and commitment, the commitment that brings it into reality. So this last program of the year and of Saturn being in Sagittarius is going to be a huge propelling energy force forward into the next year that's going to be really big shift in energy. When Saturn is in a sign, we really feel the energy of that for those 2 years. And give or take 2 years. It's a little bit plus or minus depending on various aspects of astrology that I'm not going to go into right now. So there's going to be a major energy shift, and I know a lot of you are already feeling it, and this last group, this espresso shot of consciousness, is really going to give us to propel us forward. So for those of you that sign up before October 10th, you're going to get on top of it a one-on-one session with me. And the one-on-one session with me is for you, right? Whatever that looks like is just designed for you. So essentially, it's an incredible value and it's an incredible gift, because a one-on-one session with me is pretty much like half the cost of the program to begin with. So it's just a heart open offering that I'm being guided to share for those, because I honor commitment. And I know that there's people that are going to watch this that are working with me or work with me, and they know that this is something that I'm really, really passionate about, because the devotion and the commitment that I've made in my everyday life is what has allowed me to be living the life that you see me living, and moving towards deeper and deeper levels of surrender to the soul, to surrender it to God, and to taking myself fully out of the spiritual movement, right? This isn't a spiritual movement. This isn't a new age revolution. This is the evolution of the soul that I'm here on this planet for. And that's what I bring forward. And that's what these groups offer. And if anyone is feeling inspired to join the next one, it begins November 1st. And it runs officially through November 22nd, though I am receiving a little bit of intuitive guidance that there's going to be a couple bonuses for those people in the group that happen in the last few days of November. So if you sign up before the 10th, you get a complimentary one-on-one session with me as well. So I will post the link for you to sign up in the comments below. If you have any questions, send me a private message. And I look forward to all beings who are called into this third and final Leaders Evolve Together program of this year, right? There'll be more. That said, of this year, and of likely the next probably 5 months or so. So those of you who are called to join, I hold space for you to come on in, and I look forward to receiving you. Much love and many blessings to you all. I hope that you are having the most beautiful, best, blessed day ever.